So what's up there? I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is there are still some pool halls where you can go play under the age of 18. The bad news is I just made a discovery. You can no longer use the cue ball. Do you know why? Because when you wear white, you're a Virgin Mary. Yet every time you take your stick to her, okay, and she is the cue ball, Q letter, meaning the queen. The Q letter in the alphabet is the 17th letter. 17 is not 18. She is underage, and you got the Q up her ass all the time. You stick it on her ass and you try to get her to go wherever you want. You use her to get to the other balls on the table. So what are you actually trying to really do? You start with the Q to get to the other balls. Some of the balls are stripes. Some of the balls are solid. What does that actually mean, stripes and solids? First of all, when you begin the game of pool, one of those balls cannot be counted because you haven't been given a choice of which one you get. First come in, first come serve. So that's what you get. So the cue ball. So in order to have the cue ball, right, you need the heaven, which is the 8 ball, the black ball. So if you have the heaven, you always, that's why you stop on 17 and stand. You need the birth. The 9 birth and the 8 heaven makes the 17 cue ball, which is the 1 spirit of the 7th gate. Once you got the 1 spirit to give to the 9 into the 7th gate, you are added a beta spirit and you become now 911. So now you got the 9 ball, the 8 ball, and the cue ball, and the total of the 3 balls together is 34. And 3 and 4 is a connection on the dice. 34 is also a reflection of the word of the number 1, O-N-E, Omega, passage into the E world. In fact, this is the beginning of a little design I'm making. They're all 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E. Then I just followed and flipped over from the lines and dimensions, and this is what we're starting to get. 5 and 6. This is what 5 and 6 looks like. When you put a 5 to a 6, it becomes a 6. If it's a 6, it connects here at this point, here at this point, here at this point, then on the opposite side, here at this point, here at this point. They connect 3 times on this side, 3 times on this side, 1 time in the center, which actually makes 3, 1, 3. But in this world, it says 6, 1, 1 week, 1, 6 the next week. So when it says 1, 6, 6, 1, it's actually saying we end the week on Saturday, but then we start the week on Sunday. The first day is the last day, and the first day is the first day. They don't use 7. 7, we're going to leave out of this right now. Okay, so where are we next? We're in this over here. Things, okay, oh, here's your 17 queen, okay? We're going to get to this next. I'm going to show you what this is. When you're first, when you're second, when you're third, when you're fourth. ST and D are D. ST and D are D. We use the A. Why? Because S and T to start everything. The T, okay, is the 20th letter. But 20 always goes along with 10 and 10. And you had to go from 1 to 9. Everything in between is that 10. So you got standard. Now in the middle of it, you got Android. Now why would you have Android? Well, I'm going to show you. Because man lives on this side, the other world's on this side. They go for the center here, split. In between D and R is 14 letters. Here's that 14th letter. Okay. The middle, sorry, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I meant it's over here. D and N. D and N. It's 1 letter, 2 letter, 3 letter, 4th letter. 1 letter, 2 letter, 3 letter, 4th letter. So I'm using the ND. N plus D equals 18. 1 plus 8, 9, birth. Standard. N minus D equals 10, which equals Jack. Standard in this world because 10 is 1. Okay. N all the way to D31, because that's the next D at the other end. Okay. Would be N to 31, which would be 17, which is the Q. And if you got the Q, you got the 9 birth and you got the 8 heaven. Then if you go 2 Ds, because just in the expression saying, let's go from 1 to 4. So you go from 1, 2, and 4, because I said all those 3 words. I said the 1, I said the 2, I said the 4. So when I says 2D, well, you got to have 2 Ds. You see, it's very confusing, but that's the way it's done in the other world. I mean, would you find any other way? Seriously speaking. I mean, everything knits together so perfectly. So after that, you get to the work of IT, which is it, and the word is and it, okay? Now, and TH, time, heaven. It all begins when the 4 corners come up. When you get the 4 corners, the 4 pillar stones, you get the time, heaven, or I and T, because this way it's an I and T. But when this is connected, this T, it actually ends up to I. And then the end over here, if you ever take a look, it said Northern Road to Heaven. Northern Road to Heaven. I read into it very fast. Anyways, this would say it, okay? At the same time, this says it, which also means 29. Is says 15. So if you put TH of time, heaven, with it and is, it's actually saying the return of the SITH, or the SIDCOM, the Sith. Standard International Transportation of Heaven. And it's happening right now out there. Then there's the game, like I said, the cue ball is the 17th letter. In pool, there's only 15 balls, and the cue ball has no number on it. But there were 15 balls on the table, so what do you think the number of the cue ball should be? It's got to be number 16. But 16 is the 7th gate. And 17 is 178 heavens. How does that work? Well, the cue ball gets to be 16 and 17 because it's command and create. 16 plus 17 equals to 33, command and create of the Christ. So by the in-between world, okay, taking care of the 147 world, okay, the in-between world joins the earth and the Spirit of God together in creation, and 16 and 17 are the cue ball. So what is the 18? Well, I'm not quite sure exactly what the 18, whether we're going to use it as the stick or anything. Okay, 18, your stick and 2 balls in your stick, and you're going to get the balls in the pocket. So it can be that. Don't forget, there's also 6 pockets on pull, and when you're playing the one for cash where you put in quarters, and you notice there's really no quarter passage in pool, there isn't. The quarter passage, you have to turn the pool table on the side, 2 and 5 on your telephone. So when we play the other game of pool, we actually have 2 extra holes. And in pool, you start with a long light on top with these neons coming down. Usually you don't see them glowing in your eyes. And they give you this triangular thing. And then they give you something that has a ripple on it. You know, to put a guide stick for the clams, of course. That's where the clams and pearls come from. Anyways, we're going to leave it as a short video. Really short, because it wasn't long. It's not that it was long, because it depends how the size of your screen is. The actual dimensions and coordinates are the way you set it up. So it's no more what it is than what you see in front of you. In all actuality, are you actually looking at the line behind me? Because my screen is only as big as the front of my face. You're not looking at the back of my head. You could be looking at the ears, but basically you're looking here. See how my lips move. Okay, that's it. We're going to stop now. I'm going to McDonald's for a coffee. I am dying for a coffee. Dying for a coffee. McDonald's. Love. M. You ever look at the McDonald's signs? Take a good look at it. It's actually a Roman numeral saying Fed. F-E-D. 1V1. That's what it says, 1v1. You see the little lines where the McDonald's thing is cut? Then if you look on top where the M is on the top, well, that part is actually cut off. If you remove that or turn it to the side, okay, the top of McDonald's says M13, which is actually M4, and at the same time it's saying M and B. It also says MBO when it's the morning breakfast for Omega. Come in and get your bacon and eggs. Wow, why do they serve bacon for breakfast and they don't let the Jews eat it? Listen, I stopped eating pork for like 2 weeks now. I got to get into this. Apparently it's disgusting because things in pork come to life much faster than anything else. But let me tell you about your bodily functions. I just ate a fruit. That fruit was alive. He was all full of energy and full of energy until he shriveled out and he died. Well, where did the shrivel go? Where did that shrivel go? That shrivel was the energy that was in it, keeping it alive. Everything's an animal in this world. If it's living, it's an animal. If it's not living, then it's another kind of animal. There's matter and feelers and water. I like the feeler, put her in the water and fill her off a little bit more. No, get her up, get her hot, bring her into the beta world, turn around, turn her upside down. But it's okay, you know why? Because in the beta world, it's really not upside down. In the beta world, you start at 45 degrees. So if you hit the next 45 degrees, you're actually lying flat. Actually, we're standing at 180 degrees, lying down at 90 degrees. The total is 270 degrees from lying to standing. The 270 degrees, or the 270 degrees in 1 year or a period of time it takes for a woman to have a child. 270 degrees on your clock is actually 9 o'clock, and 9 is the 9 months to have that child. The opposite, that would be 3. And that would be creation. In between would be the 6th man that you bring out of this world from alpha and beta, mother and father, 1 and 2. Now it's midnight and it's time to go to bed. Wake up at 8. It's great, okay? So you'll have 16 hours awake, 8 hours of sleep, and in the time of the 613 laws of Moses, there's another story to be told within 10 days of 6, 1, and 3, which also connects to the football scoring of 6, 1, and 3 points, and the secondary world over here is the 2 extra points we can go and make the attack. As thus is this, and this is dust. Dust to dust it went, and it's done. I really appreciate it. Raphael 7286. If you enjoyed any of this or you had a good laugh, you can go out and see me at Mr. Tackpans on YouTube. That's it. How do you stop this thing? Post or write? I can write. Oh, I didn't know I can write. Can I write and post? I'll post. Oh my God. What is this? How do I stop it? Is this